welcome to NXT Recap with your NXT Champ, White Peppa. This is KBW. Alright everyone, so as we told you on the main show, whoever holds this Predictions Championship is in charge of recapping you on what's going on in NXT. So, as your boy, White Peppa, defeated Mr. Disrespectful and Rico the Tugboat, Rico the Dragon Tugboat, in our predictions for NXT TakeOver in New York, I get to get the first one. So bear with me, as this is the first one, and we gotta go solo. So, this is what we got for episode 1 of your NXT recap with White Peppa. So, we start off with Jackson Ryker and Humberto Carrillo in a one-on-one match as a Jackson Ryker from the Forgotten Sons. It was a good match. I really like Carrillo. I think he's really got some potential. I know he's on 205 Live and stuff like that, and he's really good on 205 Live, so I can definitely see him being a bigger part, but not in this match, as Jackson Ryker is terrifying. He's a terrifying man, and he's scary to look at. This ended in a mess as Jackson Ryker got DQ'd for continuously pummeling poor Carrillo on the outside. But coming to his aid was the duo of Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, who have a long-standing feud with the Forgotten Sons. So that should set up something pretty exciting coming up. Overall, good match, but ends in chaos. So Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler egged him on to continuously beat up on Carrillo, but as we said, Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan rushed to the aid of Carrillo. After a flurry of fisticuffs, Burch and Lorcan used the steel chairs to keep the Forgotten Sons at bay. So it's a good opening match for NXT. Next up, we have Candice LeRae and Casey Catanzaro against Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. So the women's tag division is kind of heating up a little bit here, because you're hearing them more and more talk about the Iconics, who are the main roster WWE women's tag champs. And you're starting to hear them talk about how teams down in NXT, like Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah, think that they could beat the Iconics for those titles. I would personally be pretty intrigued to see, or I would like it more if it was Sasha and Bayley, but to see the WWE Women's Champs come down and take on NXT talent for the championships. I think it expands your roster so much more, and you really get to get a lot more out of them. So I would be 100% down for it. There's a lot of good young women on here that would be able to kind of go one-on-one and hopefully take those titles from the Iconics. So this match was pretty good. I like Candice. Candice LeRae is, she's Mrs. Johnny Wrestling. No coffee left. She's Mrs. Johnny Wrestling, so you're going to get a lot of pure wrestling out of her. I liked her in the Indies with Joey Ryan, and so it's nice to see her in NXT. So her and Casey Catanzaro, who is, actually, I know she was a gymnast, but the crazy moves she can pull off, being that she's this little thing who's, it was a real good match. It wound up being a win by LeRae and Catanzaro after LeRae got the hot tag, and she took out Aaliyah and Bourne with one move, culminating her onslaught with a high arching, like hurricanrana off the ropes, kind of like I call it the lion salt from Jericho on Vanessa Bourne for a pinfall victory. 1, 2, 3. So Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne not having a great go of it lately. After that, we have a backstage interview with Io Shirai about what Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir did to her best friend Kairi Sane last week. And she was discussing that she was discussing that, you know, how she was going to make them pay for what they did. And as she was snuck from behind by that trio, and they beat her up backstage and left Io Shirai laid out in the backstage floor. So there's obviously a lot more to come from that. Probably going to be Shayna Baszler's next opponent for the next takeover, whenever the guy's name that is. But I like Io Shirai. I think that she's definitely worth that. So then you had Cassius Ohno shows up in William Regal's office. And he campaigned to be Kushida's first opponent. Kushida, who was just signed by NXT recently, he was very good in Japan. So they're very excited. They're calling it the most historic Japanese signing. Even got endorsed by Shinsuke Nakamura. So I believe Cassius Ohno is going to be. Hey everyone. Sorry guys, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been watching wrestling for 8 hours. I'm tired. So he went into Williams' office. Yep. So yeah, it's going to be the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and Kushida tomorrow or next Wednesday on NXT. I'm excited to bring that to you next week. It's going to be pretty cool to witness. After that, the NXT Tag Champs, wait for it. Well, in this taping, they are still the War Raiders. War. Now the Viking Raiders, they were the War Machine, then the War Raiders, then the Viking Experience, and then the Viking Raiders. So, the War Raiders, as they still are in this one, defeated the Street Profits in a very, very good match. Street Profits jumped out right away to with some early momentum, going right after them during their entrance. So they really, Montez Ford, I believe, jumped out of the ring over the top rope, landed on the War Raiders, and they had kind of begun an onslaught for a little bit there. You thought, oh, this is going to be one of those like quick Brock Lesnar like matches where he gets snuck real quick and that's it. You don't see anything of him, and you wind up seeing new champs. But not the case here, as the War Raiders were quick to turn the tides on the Street Profits. And in the end, they hit him with what they're now calling the Viking Experience Pop-Up Power Slam. As I believe Hansen catches Montez after now Ivar throws him up in the air, catches it into a body slam for the 3 count. So the War Raiders, the Tomb Raiders, the Viking Raiders, the Panther Eagles, whatever we're calling them today, they stayed victorious and kept their titles. Moving on, we have NXT champion Johnny Champion himself, Johnny Gargano, against Roderick Strong of the Undisputed Era. Now, a lot went into this match because you saw that Adam Cole was looking like he was mad at Roderick Strong for getting the match over him. He wanted his rematch. He doesn't believe that Johnny's a real champ, and Johnny goes and gives that opportunity to Roderick Strong instead. So Roderick Strong comes out by himself, no Undisputed Era in tow. It's a very good match going up, back and forth, back and forth. Couple good moves by both. And then here comes Adam Cole to try to distract Johnny Gargano. And during this distraction, the other members of the Undisputed Era also come out. So now you're back to that same thing you had on TakeOver, where it was a good it was a 4-on-1. You know, Johnny champion, how's he going to get out of this one? But don't worry, because the original bro, Matt Riddle, comes out and he starts taking down the rest of the Undisputed Era. While Cole, he is towards the ropes trying to get Gargano. Roderick Strong, the ropes, mistaken to Adam Cole. Adam Cole kicks Roderick Strong in the face by accident, leading to that above the springboard DDT. So he hits him with a slingshot DDT, and then you get the 1, 2, 3 by Johnny Gargano. Still your NXT Heavyweight Champion of the world. The Undisputed Era were left pointing fingers at each other, while victorious Johnny Gargano fist pumped with a grinning Riddle on the stage. And that is how NXT ended. I hope, personally, I hope that the Undisputed Era isn't headed for some sort of a breakup. I mean, I guess if Roderick Strong leaves the group, it's, you just go back to the original Undisputed Era, which is not really all that bad. But I just hope that they don't pull some weird stuff and decide to break them up, because it's a rare faction to have, and you don't want to break them up over it. So, we shall see. And we shall see what happens with Matt Riddle now. Like, who in the Undisputed Era is he going to start feuding with? Is he going to feud with Adam Cole, baby? Or is he going to start feuding with Roderick Strong in return? So, a lot to look forward to. And like we said, next week is going to be the debut of Kushida, as he's going to fight the Knockout King, Cassius Ohno. So NXT was pretty good this week. No complaints there. But we're not done, because NXT is 2 brands, my friends. So we have NXT UK highlights. If I get time, I think tomorrow, because I am ready to fall asleep and I don't have time to watch another show and review it. We will try to do Worlds Collide tomorrow. Either I or Mr. Disrespectful, aka Can't Beat White Peppa. So, NXT UK, it was live again from New York, as they did a lot of their tapings were during WrestleMania week still. So NXT UK was still hanging out in New York City. So of course everything's a few weeks back here. Your highlights you're gonna have here, we're gonna talk about Cassius Ohno beating Ligero. Tony Storm is going to address the NXT UK universe in New York City. Kaylee Ray goes up against Xia Li. And of course, Mustache Mountain will face Flash Gordon Webster and Mark Andrews. So that's what we're going to go over right now. So we're going to start off with Cassius Ohno, who we just spoke about, who's going to take on Kushida next week on NXT. Starts off NXT UK tonight. So he defeats Ligero in a pretty good match where to swing the win, he had to turn Ligero's mask sideways so he couldn't see him, and then he hit him with a clubbing blow in the back of the head, leaving him subdued for the 1, 2, 3. It was a good match. Cassius Ohno was a big man, but still really athletic, so it's fun to watch. Fun to watch, just like Hanson and Rowe are on NXT, as the War Raiders are crazy athletic for being such big guys. NXT UK. The NXT UK universe is addressed by the one and only, the UK Women's Champion Toni Storm. Toni Storm she addresses the crowd, saying that it's awesome to be a part of WrestleMania week in New York City, and that she's excited to be representing the brand, and with all the women on there, including Rhea Ripley, who she had 3 fantastic matches with, and the newly signed Piper Niven. If you've never seen Piper Niven in the Mae Young Classic, I believe it was the first time I saw Piper Niven in action. She is tremendous, and I'm excited about watching Worlds Collide because I believe she is in one of those matches, and I want to see how that all goes down. So she forgets to mention one name, and that seems to be Kaylee Ray. And Kaylee Ray made sure that when she came out in her entrance as Toni Storm was still in the ring, she let Toni Storm know you missed the name of somebody who was coming after you. So you could tell there was a little tension there. Maybe that's something that Toni Storm needs to really watch out for. Next up, you wind up having Kaylee Ray against Xia Li in the ring. Xia Li did compete in the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble. She was not in there too long, but she was there. So she's looking to make a name for herself now in NXT UK. This was her NXT UK debut. Had a good effort, put up some amazing moves, and including a devastating kick that nearly brought her to victory, but did not. So obviously Kaylee did some stuff. So Kaylee Ray wound up still getting the win. She did the Widow's Peak and then driving her face hard into the canvas for a 1, 2, 3. Very good. I like Kaylee Ray because I believe she was in both Mae Young Classics, and I saw her a few times on the Indies. Tremendous talent. It's gonna be fun. I hope that she does want to go and have a little feud with Toni Storm. I think that's gonna be huge. So obviously Walter not on the show tonight. He has a non-title match next week against Jordan Devlin. Non-title because they're going to wait for the and Jordan Devlin had something to say about it, as he wanted to know that yes, Johnny Saint did not actually throw him a bone. He basically said fight him, but for nothing. So Jordan Devlin is not all that happy about having to basically fight Walter for no reason and not get a chance at the title until they're done with. Hold on one second. Yeah. Hello.
You need a favor?
What you got?
When you downstairs, can you shut the front windows?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
So what are you doing up here?
I'm still recording things.
Hi. Forget that, okay?
No, I won't.
Next that.
You. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Bye. Good night.
Hey, don't forget.
I won't. And that was Your Mama Break. I'm recording this so late, no one knows what the hell I'm doing. So yeah, as I said, I hope for all that. Next up, to finish the night off, Mustache Mountain against Flash Gordon Webster and Mark Andrews. Anything with Mustache Mountain in it is going to be great. Tyler Bate is extraordinary. Trent Seven is extraordinary. I love watching them. So anytime I get a chance to watch those two at War, I will. Or at Viking War, I don't know. So it was a good main event match. You had some real, you had the sportsmanship, the handshakes, but in the final moments, you end up having the big strong boys prevail when the Artful Dodger hit a dragon suplex on Webster before working with Bate to hit a burning hammer on the Mod Fathers for a huge win. Mustache Mountain keeps rolling. I wish that they would be able. I don't want them to ever have to come up to the main roster only because, but Mustache Mountain's a great team and it's be someone I definitely would want to see do their thing. So as far as NXT was this week, it wasn't overwhelming. Nothing blew you away, but they cover different things each week, so you don't have as much. So as far as NXT UK goes, there's to be seen because I know Worlds Collide. Toni Storm will have. She defended her title, and I don't know what she did. So, and Gargano holding on to, after a battle with all of the Undisputed Era. There's a lot to look forward to there, as you want to know what he's going to do, how Matt Riddle fits in this situation. And next week, NXT, you're looking forward to seeing the Kushida debut against Cassius Ohno, and NXT UK, you're looking forward to Jordan Devlin and Walter going head to head. Let me just see if there's any other notes. Otherwise, guys, we can get the hell out of here. And I can find my bed, which I'm very excited to do. So NXT, yeah, it looks like that's about it, guys, man. I mean, I'll see what I can dig up for news and notes for next week. For our first show, not terrible. But this seems to be everything we needed. So, I am White Peppa, your NXT Predictions Champion. And this was your NXT/NXT UK recap. I hope you bear with me for the first one here, as I gotta work out a format and begin to figure this out, because after I defend this title like 8 more times against Mr. Disrespectful, who's just, let's be real, he's terrible at this. He's not me. He won't be able to beat me. He can't beat me. So, step it up, Disrespectful, because no one's going to disrespect my NXT title ever again, in the words of Chris Jericho. So, from the studio here, I will bid you adieu. So goodbye, and good night, bang.